Hello and welcome back to another reaction. In this occasion, My Hero Academia Season 5, Episode 8. Before going to the description to the last episode, I want to say something to you guys. As you might notice, there is a kind of an intro that I put there. Well, if you have following my tweets, you know that I've been receiving bad news from not this last weekend, but the one before that. And unfortunately, on Tuesday, I received the worst possible news that a loved one could receive from some another loved one. Uh, this obviously affected me. This obviously stopped me from being able to record. I didn't have the mood for anything. Uh, it was honestly awful. I don't put his name down in the description, only his initials, for obvious reason. It's pretty the internet is pretty dangerous if you give that information. Um, so that is why the last week I wasn't able to record or to do anything. Actually, this was planned to be done last week and being able to just fulfill the entire week with videos, but thanks to the news, it, I couldn't. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. But obviously, I need to return to a certain degree of normalcy. I need this, and I think he will have wanted that. He wouldn't let me just dwell so much in my sadness that I wasn't able to do anything else. He wouldn't like that, and that is what gives me a little bit more of strength. But hopefully, I am not going to be all depressed and all mopey. I am trying to do that. I've been talking with people. I've been talking with my family, with psychiatrists, psychologists, and all that. Well, not psychology. I think it's a psychologist. So I've been speaking with him, and it's hard. Don't get me wrong, it's hard. But I need this. I need this sense of normalcy. I need to move forward. So, and if you see videos that say, "Oh yeah, he's very enthusiastic for being in the situation he is," because those videos were recorded before the news dropped. So yes, I recorded them, but I did not even feel like editing them. They are there, sitting in my computer. They're very enthusiastic with me because I had good news back then. Unfortunately, this is not the case. Not this week. So I will try not to be mopey because yeah, he wouldn't have liked that, and I'm doing this for him because he wanted me to move forward, and that is what I'm going to do. I'm moving forward. So yeah, that is why I'm here back. Okay, yes, after a while I psych myself up, and yes, no mopey side now. That is why the transition. No mopey side. I need to be enthusiastic because this is what he wanted. So yes, last week's episode was the first part of the fight between the Team Todoroki and Team Tetsutetsu. Those are the ones I remember the most, obviously. And it's exciting because when I thought that Todoroki was going to be kind of the top shot in here, Iida is claiming that spot and very enthusiastically claiming said spot. So I am curious to see how this is going to be developed, how this is going to end. And honestly, I don't want to wait anymore, so let me quickly remind you that if you enjoy the content of the channel, please consider a subscription and turn on notifications. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up and leave a comment so I know what you think about my reaction, the episode, or well, the commentary in general. If you want to follow me on Twitter, the link is in the description below, alongside with the reaction because YouTube doesn't like reaction, and my Patreon in case you want to see the full uncut reaction. Anyway, enough about all of this. Let's go and watch the episode, shall we? Okay, I'm back. I just watched a second time the 8th episode of the 5th season. And I like, well, for starters, I like the fact that it helped me. It made me happy. This is something I needed, but I'm not going to dwell too deep into that. Let's go to the episode. I like the fact that it changed my mind during this episode and the last one. In the last one, I maintain in my head because I see as Todoroki probably the second strongest after Midoriya in the class 1A. Especially with Midoriya evolving his own quirk, because he's starting to evolve it, and obviously we know that Midoriya is not even close to the freaking limit of his quirk, because he's amazing. The strength that he could use is just so overwhelming, man. So yeah, again, he could potentially be stronger than All Might. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense that he's very OP. But after him, I always consider Shoto to be the strongest one after Midoriya, very close to Bakugo. Perhaps is my prejudice against Bakugo. I say, okay, no, I don't want him to be number one at anything, so he's going to be number two, even in the ones that come after Midoriya. So yes, that is again, perhaps it's a little bit of a dig from my behalf, but that is the case for me. That is my selfishness there. But yes, I honestly thought that Todoroki was going to be the one who shined the most. But it makes sense because I haven't seen any evolution in Shoto. Perhaps not in the present. We only seen the evolution in Midoriya. We have seen him grow, but not in Shoto, at least not that much. Because the last arc before this one, well, the last couple of arcs before this one were more Midoriya centric, and some other, because not even Iida was there present. It was obviously Tsuyu, Kirishima, which we saw a lot of growth from those two. It was, who else? Tsuyu, Uraraka, obviously, and Midoriya, the ones from class 1A. So yeah, that's why we haven't concentrated. And on the music festival, it was Jiro's obviously time to shine, and Todoroki was there, but he was still in the background. He wasn't there in front lines. So that is why perhaps I don't feel, now that I think about it, I don't feel that Shoto has grown that much. Perhaps in the background, sure. And now that I remember, he is one of the two who doesn't have a license, a hero license, a professional hero license. So that should have been a clue to what was going on. But no, this episode just reaffirmed what the last one did. In this case, that Iida has been training like crazy and has been evolving a lot. And we saw that I think everybody, not just inside the universe, but outside the audience, underestimate Iida. I honestly thought, okay, he's going to be a good addition, he's going to be a good support, but honestly, I feel with this episode that he ended up being the main role of this one, even above everybody, above Todoroki, which again, I thought was going to take the cake in this one. But not only him, we saw the evolution, not so much in Tentacool, I don't remember, Shoji. Not so much in him, because we have seen him grow all these arms and all of that. He's a very, very background character that we haven't seen, but I honestly noticed more Ojiro. If you have been following for a while, from the first or second season of My Hero Academia, you know that Ojiro is not among my favorites. I don't dislike the guy, I just think, as the show told us, he is very ordinary. I think that's the word that was used in the show. Very ordinary, very middle of the road, very, I dare to say, uninterested. So that is why he's not among my favorites. So when I saw him here, he honestly changed my mind. Yes, he could behave ordinarily, let's say, but what he did and what he has been doing, training himself, what he did here with the strength of his tail, without releasing Pony, was honestly amazing. It was amazing, and it made me change my mind about him. I think I think he earned more of my respect, which is not a lot. Obviously, it doesn't have that big meaning. Oh yes, my respect means everything to everybody. No, obviously, but he earned my respect in that regard. I'll take it as little as you wish, of course. Uh, but I like the growth in that character. That honestly, I don't think a lot of people consider him their favorite character. But again, I like that the growth that come out of nowhere, because honestly, it never crossed my mind to see him evolve in any way, shape, or form. Hell, I don't even remember him back then. So I like that. I like to be pleasantly surprised, and this episode did just that. I'm happy with that one. Moving on, obviously Class 1B was very tenacious. They knew what they were doing. They knew that they were facing, well, back then probably for the whole Class 1B, probably one of the strongest characters in Class 1A. So yeah, they were very wary. They were saying, okay, yes, we need to move forward. We need to do something against Todoroki. Obviously, again, underestimating Iida, which was a fatal mistake for them. But I like the elements of Class 1B, that they are not pushovers. They are not just, oh, okay, yeah, Class 1A is just going to steamroll above everybody else and they are going to win everything because they have the experience of real fights, especially 4 of them. But again, one of those 4 lost. Kirishima, that has that real life experience, lost his match, his personal match. Not the entire one, because yes, obviously the first team won, for Class 1A, I mean. But his personal match, he lost. He wasn't able to exceed as he wanted. So yes, that experience was not there. Suyu kind of did well, because again, she has the experience. I'm talking about the ones who had the experience of the fight against Shisaki. Obviously, Suyu did a little bit better, and they team won, so yeah. Now we're waiting for the other 2, which are Uraraka and are Deku, the other 2 that face this villain. And I cannot wait to see what is going to happen. But obviously we still have the 4th match to see, which is Bakugo's. Again, I don't know what to feel about that, because everything, the few minutes that I saw of the match, well, the previews of the match, because yeah, we don't see anything about the match, all those seconds that I saw screams, oh, this is not going to end well for Bakugo. This is not going to end well with Bakugo. His pride is way too big for him to work well with the team. Everything screams that. But at the beginning of the last match, of the 3rd match, I thought, oh, okay, yeah, I think Todoroki is going to win, because perhaps it's going to end 1-1-1-1. But I'm not sure of anything. I'm not sure of anything at all in this case. The draw, that it was something I was not ready for, and I want to see what is going to happen. Again, my judgment is saying that yes, Bakugo is going to screw up something, his pride is going to be way too much, but again, perhaps it's my basis against Bakugo, because again, Bakugo is not among my favorite characters. Yes, he has grown, yes, he has changed, but it still is not among my favorites. So perhaps he's that. So I don't know. I don't know what is going to happen with the 4th match, because again, there is not much for me to say other than the growth that we expect. Obviously, the heat of Tetsutetsu that he can resist obviously is a lot more, and that is an interesting addition to the hero curse. Pony, who is supposed to be speaking English, but I think I understand better the one that Mothman. I could understand better Mothman when he spoke English than Pony. Sure, whatever. But yeah, it's interesting to see. It's fun. It was a fun episode. And I cannot wait to see the next one. But let me quickly just remind you that if you enjoy the content of the channel, please consider a subscription and turn on notifications. If you enjoy the video, please give me a thumbs up and leave a comment so I know what you think about our reaction, the episode, or the commentary. If you agree, if you disagree. Remember that in the description the link for the Twitter is there if you want to follow me, the link for the reaction because YouTube doesn't like reaction, and the link for my Patreon in case you want to see the full uncut reaction of these and many more episodes. Anyway, enough about this. I really exhausted the topic of this one. I hope you enjoy it, and I have nothing else to say but thank you for your attention, and well, see you on the next one. Bye.
Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, give it a like so the algorithm from YouTube will help me out. And check my other videos, share them, and also why not subscribe to my channel and join this community. And as always, I want to thank you for your attention, your likes, and even your dislikes, your comments, which is something I always look forward to read. And yeah, once more, thanks and see you on the next one.